What are some special circumstances of your life that have made you see with special eyes? One special circumstance that I think of when I hear this question is my sophomore year of college when my grandmother was dying. She started beginning hospital treatments in September of 2021. And it's my mom's mom, who I grew up with very closely. She was, person that would pick me up from school when I was sick, all that kind of stuff. She was one of my favorite people of my life. And it was my first semester, like, of full college after COVID and everything. And it was like I was trying to figure out my way through college while also going home every weekend, seeing her, spending time with her and helping her, helping my family, whatnot, and working. And after 6 months in January 2022, right before my second semester of my sophomore year, she ended up passing away from kidney failure. And it really opened my eyes because I realized that the time you have with people, like, is limited. No matter how long you think you may have somebody, anybody can, like, be taken from you at any time. And it just made me see that, like, life is special and that, like, the relationships you have with people are very important, because the time I spent with her, I know I'll never regret, and she was glad to have me and the rest of my family around. Some topics or themes that I would like to work with this semester. Suspense is a big, I think it's a theme worked on in Concept and Story 120. I had a lot of fun writing a treatment for suspense. I think it's very fun to see how much suspense you can build without being, like, too obvious about it. I think that's a lot of fun. My favorite character from any form of filmed media and why they're interesting to you. I think I have two. I think I have Anakin Skywalker from Star Wars, Anakin/Darth Vader, and then Jon Snow from Game of Thrones. Anakin Skywalker because the underlying, like, idea behind him throughout the movie is always super interesting to me, and the trials and tribulations he goes through, from being a small kid, being a slave, and then, his whole life changing and becoming a Jedi, but him still continue to struggle while being a Jedi, one of the greatest people in the galaxy, and then him eventually, like, failing to save the woman he loves and turning to the dark side, but eventually redeeming himself for his son. One of my favorite characters. And then Jon Snow from Game of Thrones. He was a bastard of Ned Stark, and the way he goes about situations throughout the show is very interesting to me. Like, in the end, when he kills Daenerys Targaryen, because he says duty is the death of love, and he felt that it was his duty to kill her to stop her from taking over the rest of the continent, and even though he loved her. So favorite movies, shows, or stories and why they connect. So Star Wars is my number one, like, movie, series, show, all time. I even have a Star Wars tattoo. I just think it's what I grew up on. It was, like, one of the first things I fell in love with, and it was, like, really big for me. I connected with it just because, like, as a kid, it allowed me to, like, be taken to this whole other place, which I thought was cool. Game of Thrones is my favorite TV show, along with probably The Sopranos is up there, and Sons of Anarchy is another good one. Peaky Blinders too. These all connect with me, like, just because, like, for the same reason as Star Wars is I feel like I'm immersed into their world when I'm watching, and I feel like the shows did such a good job allowing you to connect with characters. And the reason I write is because it allows me to be creative. I like to be creative and think outside the box and do all these certain things, and it's one of my favorite things to do, and it just allows me to take myself to a different world and create one.